Hello everybody, Jake your resident content cowboy here, yeehaw, and Extra Dimensional Crisis is here. We have every card in the new set. We're going to be taking a look at it. We just ripped a ton of packs and played some new decks on stream. So we're going to be looking at all of this right now. Hi YouTube, yeah, say hi to YouTube everybody in the chat. And we're going to go through every card together here. We're going to start with the new Grass Petalil, 60 HP, 1 energy for Seed Bomb. Fine, seems fine. We have a new Lilligant. This is, I mean, it doesn't have the cool ability the other Lilligant does where it adds energy, but it's 110 HP, 60 damage with cut. Not bad. Grass cards in general are just good right now. I think the new Decidueye line looks actually kind of exciting. Rowlet is whatever. I mean, you use the other Rowlet, right? This is 1 energy where you flip 3 coins. The new Dartrix, however, is good. Skill Dive, 20 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon in case you need it. You could just be running Rare Candy. But Decidueye, the new Decidueye non-EX feels pretty dang solid. Sniping Arrow does 70 damage to one Pokemon. It's essentially, as someone in the chat mentioned earlier, it's a perfect counter to Oricorio. You could just snipe bench Oricorios, you could snipe Shaymins, like there are tons of things you could snipe with it and not be an EX Pokemon, and they don't need damage on it. So 70 damage to anything out there for 2 energy in a deck that's probably going to be a grass like Meowscarada deck feels pretty dang good. I think Decidueye feels great right now. Buzzwole, we were just playing on stream. It'll probably be the first deck I post of this new set. We love killing Oricorio, says Solo Gamer. This will probably be the first deck I post of the new set. I'm loving Buzz right now. 140 HP, not bad. It's grass type, which means it's amazing because it has Cape and Erica and all the like 8 million things that are good. Punch, low damage, but you're really not using Punch too much. Big Beat for 120, and then you easily play around things like with Celestila, right? So we'll talk about Celestila in a bit, but the combination here is you hit with Buzzwole, you get your free retreat, you bring Buzz back in, and you hit for another 120, and it's good because it's KOing dark types in very quick fashion, right? Pheromosa, new card. I like this card a lot so far. I actually read this card wrong when I first saw the information on it. I didn't realize it does 20 damage to the active and 20 damage to a bench Pokemon. Some people in the chat have been kind of down on this card for whatever reason, but I actually like it. I think it's pretty good. 70 HP is really solid. 20 damage to the bench sets up lots of Cyrus plays, and it puts you in good range for things like Buzzwole, but Adrian in the chat says he doesn't like it. Fair enough, Adrian. Well, I'll tell you what, as far as full arts are concerned, I have pulled 850 of this full art. We'll talk about the arts in a bit, but for whatever reason, Pheromosa is my new Vaporeon. If you've been following the channel for a while, I got like 9 million of them as we're pulling packs here. Kartana, 60 HP, 40 damage with a single energy. Not too bad, especially considering it's grass type and an Ultra Beast, so it combos with a lot of the new stuff that's in this set, right? Which is very cool. It has Leaf Cape capabilities. You can pair it with Erica. You can use the new Beast items on it. So not too shabby at all. I'm doing auto battles right now so we can get more packs. Blacephalon here, the only fire card, right? In this entire set. Blacephalon, 130 damage, 70 to itself, 100 HP. This is a tricky one. Sorry, just had to mute my mic there for 1 second. This is a tricky one, right? It's a lot of damage, but it's also a lot of damage to itself. It almost feels like you're guaranteeing you're going down, but I would like to see some decks made with this. I'm excited to see this, especially with a lot of the EX fire decks. You could have like this and a Turtonator. It could be pretty good. Mantine, 1 sec. All right, Mantine, basic, 2 energy, 50 damage with Surf. This is like bad Zeraora, yeah? What's Zeraora? Zeraora's 90. It's like bad Zeraora, isn't it? I love that I go to record this video, I'm coughing like in between every card now, out of nowhere. Mantine is bad Zeraora, 90 HP. Surf does 50 for 2 energy with a 2 retreat cost. This card's just terrible, yeah? Am I wrong? Is this card just terrible? It's just like Zeraora is good. It gives you energy. It has 1 retreat cost, same HP, same damage. All right, fair enough. Carvana, 1 energy, 30 damage, 60 HP. Sharpedo, 2 energy, and you can flip a coin and discard a random energy from your opponent's Pokemon. Yeah, it's like pack filler, right? Seems pretty rough. Sharpedo seems okay. Another kind of pack filler. I am excited about the new Luxray card. So Shinx, 20 damage with Bite. Luxio, Headbolt for 50. I can't remember the old Luxio. I remember the old Shinx with Hide. I don't remember the old Luxio. And then Luxray, 130 damage, excuse me, 130 HP. Now it does 90 damage only to the active spot, but it does have Intimidating Fang, where your opponent's active Pokemon do minus 20 damage. I'm interested to see what this is like. Probably not as good. Old Luxio is 40 for 2, but 10 more HP. Okay. I'm excited to see that card. It feels like it is worse because the other one was a really good sniper and it set up some like game-winning situations, but I am excited to try that out. New Blitzle, new Zebstrika. Feel like Blitzle's a no, but Zebstrika is a maybe, right? If you don't care about sniping, this card can do 70 with 90 HP, but this also feels like maybe a little bit of a filler card. Emolga, 70 HP, 30 damage with Static Shock, just kind of a basic lightning type. And then you have Tapu Koko EX, which is our EX lightning here. I actually think this card seems cool, especially with one of the tools in this set, which we'll talk about here in a second. But 20 damage for a single energy, and then you attach an additional energy to yourself. You Mach Bolt your next turn for 90. Not too bad. Xurkitree, 60 damage for 3 energy, leaving your opponent's Pokemon confused. Doesn't seem great. You could definitely play this with the new Lightning Tool card, but it doesn't seem that great, right? Zeraora I do like. Thunderclap Flash. You just take an additional lightning energy and attach it to Zera at the end of your first turn, if you can get this in your hand early. Clefairy, Clefable, we've got a colorless for 10 and a Moonkick for 60 for 2 energy. We've got Phantom and Trevenant. Just seems bad to me, I gotta be honest. 120 HP, I guess, isn't awful. Rack down 70 damage for 3 energy. Feels pretty rough to me, guys. And I really like Trevenant, but that feels pretty rough. Morlul and Shiinotic, however, could be good cards. So Shiinotic is the card that we saw previewed in this set. Illuminate, once during your turn, put a random Pokemon from your deck into your hand. Very powerful if you are in... if you have a deck that can use this. It is always tricky finding the space in some of these decks. Oh my gosh. The Guz Lord, I'm like auto battling right now. You guys didn't see it happen. The Guz Lord just took 3 energy off this Probopass right here. How unbelievably mean. Okay. Let's see. Metatite, trip over, does 10 damage, and if you flip a coin on heads, it does 20. Boo, 20 additional. High jump kick for a single energy doesn't seem terrible. 50 damage, 90 HP, but it's stage 1. Ball Toy, 2 colorless energy to do spinning attack for 30, seems okay. Claydol is really interesting. Claydol is 100 HP, power beam for 3 energy, but I think the real advantage of this card, right, is that you are going to be blocking you and your opponent from any healing. Buzzwole just destroyed me with its tyrannical hole. Absolutely decimated us over here. Thanks a lot, Auto Battler. So this is an interesting card, and I'm curious to see what something like this is going to be like, right? You could have some good moments with it. I have to set up my auto battle one more time. We lost a Guz Lord EX with our cheesy Dialga deck. Rockruff, new Rockruff bad, but don't worry about that. Just use the other Rockruff from the last set. Lycanroc EX. A lot of people were saying this card is bad. I don't think it's that bad. I think the place you would find this card is going to be in a Rampardos Lycanroc deck, and it's going to be something that you can, like, it's going to be a card that you can sort of flow between, yeah? So I think you're going to maybe use Lycanroc EX, but either way, with Rockruff, you're pulling cards out of your deck, making it easier to get Rampardos. You could also have comms in your deck to comms around it too. And if you notice an opportunity where the 3 energy and 130 is going to be good, then you can fight with it. So I'm not saying it's great. I'm just saying I do think there are some options for this card. Of course, it does get dumpstered by Meowscarada, which is unfortunate. We have new Passimian, which seems to be better than EX Passimian somehow. 100 HP. For 2 energy, if you have another Passimian on your bench, it does 80 damage. So, I mean, I don't hate it. Maybe it's not that great. I don't know. Maybe it's not great. I really don't hate it. Old Passimian's kind of bad, but we'll see. We do have a new Palossand, which is going to be really interesting. If I'm remembering right, Acerola, it doesn't have anything to do with the card being the Psychic Palossand. It's just if it's Palossand. So yeah, it's just Palossand or Mimikyu, which is what I thought. And for that reason, we may have a new Palossand deck. Sandygast, 2 energy to do 30 damage, but the Palossand here, 1 fighting, 3 colorless, 130 HP to do 90 damage, and they can't retreat. So I actually am kind of interested to see if a cool deck can be built with this. Maybe this is the card that you need to, like, attach energy to with Passimian EX. Who knows? We've got Alolan Meowth here. Metal, discard a random tool card from your opponent's hand. Pretty fun. I don't know who's going to let you do that, but pretty fun. Alolan Persian here. Fake out, flip a coin. If heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is now paralyzed. Bad, but fun. Bad, but fun. Sandile, 20 damage with Bite, 70 HP. Crocodile, 40 damage for 2 energy, 90 HP. Then we have Crocodile. This attack feels pretty good, and I'm really wary of 3 energy attacks, but this feels pretty good. Poaching Fangs does 90 for 3 energy, so pretty solid damage here. And then you flip 3 coins, and for every single heads, you discard a random card from your opponent's hand and put it in their deck. That's pretty good. Now, you could, of course, hit 0 heads. Your opponent could have drained, like, all the cards out of their hand. But just being able to attack and being able to not only do solid damage with 140 HP, but also shuffle cards back into your opponent's hand, that actually feels kind of solid. I'm excited to play around with Crocodile, for sure. Nihilego, 70 HP. We've seen this. More poison. New wave is the attack. More poison seems like a really cool one. Guz Lord. We've seen this card earlier in the set too. Grindcore is like a Team Rocket grunt right here, allowing you to flip a coin until you get tails and remove energy. And then you have Tyrannical Hole, 120 damage for energy. Beware my Tyrannical Hole. We have Poipole, 2-step, flipping 2 coins, doing 20 damage for each heads. And we have, how do I say it? Naganadel. I think I got it. Naganadel. 40 damage. Your opponent's active Pokemon is now poisoned. Obviously, the combination between this and Nihilego seems pretty clear. I honestly totally forgot about Alolan Dugtrio. I totally forgot about it. I don't know what to say about this card. Alolan Diglett, 1 energy, flip a coin. If it's tails, it does nothing. Alolan Dugtrio, EX. What's there to say about this card? It's worse Zarina. It's 2 energy instead of 1. You flip 3 coins, 60 damage for each heads. Dude, I don't know. It's beautiful. I can't argue with you, Dark Red. It's beautiful. It's better than Marowak. Sure. It's better Marowak. I don't know. I guess. I don't know what they're thinking with this card. If this card did some base damage, like imagine this card did base damage. Even if this card did 40 base, right? That would seem like, okay, you're at least guaranteeing that you're doing damage. But it has no guaranteed damage. I don't know, that's so rough for me, man. We have the Aeron, Larion, Aggron line. So Aeron, 40 damage with Headbutt. Then we have Larion, 60 damage with Lunge Out, 3 energy. And then we have Aggron right here. This is a lot of energy. It's 4 energy, 2 of them being metal. And it's for Gamba decks. I mean, it would need to be. Naganagal, thank you. 150 damage, but next turn this Pokemon can attack. It's not an Ultra Beast, so you can't play around it with Celestila. I don't really know what's going on with this. You'd have to run it with Dialga or something like that. But I'm not sure that would be insanely good. We'll just have to see. It's a cool card. It's a good use of rare candy, right? Because if you're just playing Dialga, you rare candy it, you get it powered up. I don't know. Pharaoh Seed, 60 HP, 40 damage with Spike Sting, 2 energy, 2 retreat cost also, which is a bummer. By the way, 2 retreat cost on Aeron, which is not good to start. One of the things I liked about Tyranitar's line is the retreat cost of both its basic and stage 1 were low. But yeah, I guess you could run it with the Sun Lion. That's true. You can run it with Solgaleo. Ferrothorn here, 110 HP. Ability Steel Spikes. If this Pokemon's in the active spot and is damaged by an attack, you do 20 to the attacking Pokemon. This just feels like a bad card. There have been many cards like this throughout the time in Pocket. Throughout the time? Sure, that's how that sentence came out. And this just feels like another meh one, unfortunately. It's kind of like a Poliwrath or something like that. You could make a deck with it. You can win some games with it, but it doesn't seem that good. Stack Attacka. We've got 110 HP. This card has, for 2 energy, you hit with Brass Rock and you take minus 20 damage from attacks. I could see you doing some fun stuff with this. The nice thing about this is because it's an Ultra Beast, you get to play it with some of the new Ultra Beast cards and Celestila. So jury's out on that. I think without the Ultra Beast tag right here, this is like not good. With the Ultra Beast tag, maybe. We have Lillipup, colorless, 60 HP, 20 damage for tackle. Herdier, 1 energy again, 30 damage for bite. And then we have Stoutland right here. The stage 2. I love this card, kind of. I'm excited to try it with like a rare candy deck. So Guard Dog Visage, if this is in the active spot, your opponent's attacks cost 1 more energy. That feels so incredibly mean. For so many things, that actually feels pretty dang mean, and I'm excited to try this card out. The 2 energy on the attack is a bummer, man. If this was like a 1 energy attack that you could just get into that active spot, ooh, I'd be pretty excited. But I think we could still see some cool like Lillipup strats. I would like that. Stuffle, Beware, the new Beware, super powered hug. Flip 2 coins. If both of them are heads, your opponent's active Pokemon is knocked out. So you have a 25% chance of knocking out your opponent's active Pokemon. It requires 3 energy. This is terrible, but I mean, I'm excited. It would be funny to see it happen. New Oranguru seems bad. 100 HP, 3 colorless to do 70. This feels like a huge investment, right? Yeah. Type Null and Silvally, by the way, though, pretty cool. So Type Null we saw early on. We saw this when the set was first announced. This is fine, 80 HP. Quick Blow can do 20 damage and an additional 20 on a heads. But the cool thing is this card. So it evolves. You get a lower retreat cost. And with 2 energy, you do 50, right? If you play any supporter card, you do 100 damage on your turn. That's pretty good. Like, there are a lot of good supporter cards in the game. And as someone mentioned, like, you play this with red, and that is 120 right there, which is pretty cool. We've got Celestila right here. Celestila is it feels like one of the most impactful cards in the new set for the Ultra Beasts. Ultra Thrusters is insanely good. You could switch your active Ultra Beast with a bench Ultra Beast. Crazy good. I mean, just insanely powerful, really good in the Buzzwole deck I was playing earlier. I think this will be a staple in most Ultra Beast decks, but I could be wrong. It's just so... The ability to switch cards out for free, essentially, is too good. New item, Beast Wall. This is kind of like Adaman. You could only use it if your opponent hasn't gotten points. It's not a supporter, it's an item, so you can play this with other cards. Your Ultra Beast will take minus 20 damage from attacks from your opponent's Pokemon. I'm not so sure about this card, but I would like to try. I would like to play around with it more. Now, a lot of people are talking about Repel, and for good reason. The reason that people are talking about Repel is we sort of have Sabrina that's not a supporter. So it's a Sabrina that you are allowed to play and play other supporters in your turn. The big caveat is you can only use this on an active basic Pokemon. So if your opponent is playing Darkrai and, you know, Giratina EX and Buzzwole EX, things like that, it's good. If your opponent is not playing that, it is bad. It is very meta dependent, right? Depending on how the meta is playing out, I think it could actually be really good. But if the meta is like leaning into things like lots of rare candy stage 2s and things like that, then it's not as good. Of course, you could still use it early on the basics, but I do think this card is just going to be completely dependent on what's happening in the meta. Could be a good card to have in your deck, though. Pokemon Tool, Electrical Cord. This one is a very specific card. This is for Lightning Pokemon. And if that Pokemon is knocked out, you will move 2 energy from that Lightning Pokemon and attach 1 of it to each of your 2 benched Pokemon. So this powers up your bench. It feels like it naturally combos with Pachirisu, right? It naturally combos with Tapu Koko. I could see it comboing with Pikachu EX, like the original Pikachu EX, right? It feels fine. I don't want to be too negative on it. It feels fine. I don't know if I would want to like have a spot in my deck with this tool, but to throw 2 energy, well, you'd throw 1 energy over to like Pikachu from Shining Revelry, and I think you could actually make something good happen. So I don't want to be too negative on it. It actually could be kind of cool. And yes, you can pass it to any type of Pokemon. Great point. Great point. So you don't only have to pass it to Lightning, you just have to have a Lightning in that active spot. So yeah, with cards like Zeraora, Tapu Koko, you could definitely see it. You could use it with Xurkitree, so it could be pretty good. Let's see, Beastite right here. This is a cool tool. I don't know how useful it's going to be, but I've got it in my Buzzwole deck for now just because it's new, right? Attacks used by your Ultra Beast card that this is attached to do plus 10 damage to your opponent's active Pokemon for each point you have gotten. So if you've already KO'd 2 Pokemon on the other side, this is plus 20 to every single attack to the active spot. Could be pretty sick, but as some people have mentioned, it feels like kind of like a win harder card. Gladion, put a random type Null or Silvally from your deck into your hand. Obviously, extremely situational, but if you can make a cool deck with it, it could be really fun. Looker is weird. A lot of people are saying this card is broken, and a lot of people are saying this card is awful. I am leaning towards this card being not good, but that doesn't mean I'm right. It's just kind of what it feels like. So what I'm thinking with this card is you will know what supporters your opponent has in their hand, so you probably won't be getting a ton of value out of Looker. Like, the more you play the game, you are not in their hand, excuse me, I said that wrong. You have a very good idea what cards your opponent has in their deck. I apologize. So obviously in a tournament, it's like kind of useless, right? But in ranked, I guess it would be good to know what your opponent still has in their deck, but we'll have to, I need to play more with this card. So I'm not saying it's awful. My initial thought is this doesn't feel very good, but yeah. We'll see though. Maybe it'll be really cool. Lucamine, really good card. Very good card for your Ultra Beasts. Especially like the Buzzwole deck I was using it on. Really amazing here. Choose an Ultra Beast, attach 2 random energy from your discard pile to that Pokemon as long as your opponent's gotten a point. Very good. We can take a look at some of the art right now. We have the Rowlet that we saw in the reveal. We have Pheromosa, which I have 9 million of currently. Looking to trade. Blacephalon, very cool art right there. Some ones that we didn't see in any of the trailers. You have Alolan Meowth, which we actually pulled earlier. We have the Silvally art, which I think is really cool looking. That one is pretty awesome, I think. We've got Celestila, which to me, I mean, it's giving Final Fantasy VII to me. It's giving hard Final Fantasy VII to me. Buzzwole, boy, that sounded bad after I said it. Buzzwole EX, Tapu Koko EX is a 2-star. Lycanroc EX is a 2-star. Of course, Guz Lord EX, I did pull one of these as a 2-star. Alolan Dugtrio looks pretty fantastic, I'm not gonna lie. We have Gladion. We have Looker. Boy, he's a looker, ain't he? We have Lucamine right here. Tapu Koko full art, which is sick. That's awesome. I haven't seen this yet. I have not seen Lycanroc either. That is also extremely good. Extremely good. Guz Lord. It feels like we've kind of got the vibes of the Darkrai card, right? Which is very cool. I wonder if it's done by the same artist. Alolan Dugtrio. Dang, these are so good. I wish this card was better. I wish this card was better. Buzzwole EX is our immersive for this set. We pulled it on stream. It's awesome. Yeah, very cool. We have a lot of shinies. And before you get mad at the shinies, because I also don't love the shinies being in here. It feels like kind of weird pack filler. I don't like it. But they have shiny Greninja. This card is going to be good all the time, it feels like. So you can't be too upset at the shinies if you pull the Greninja line. Greninja is such a good card, especially with rare candy. We also have shiny Growlithe, Arcanine, Jinx, Pidgey, Pidgeotto, Pidgeot, Aerodactyl, Celebi EX, Arcanine EX, Aerodactyl EX, Pidgeot EX, and the crown rare of this set, Nihilego, which I honestly, I feel like if you gave me 10 guesses, I would not have guessed Nihilego. I don't know if anyone in the chat feels the same way, but I truly did not expect this card was going to be the crown rare of the set. Looks pretty cool. I have not pulled it yet, but boy, I did not expect it. It's the first non-EX crown card that is also not a Pokeball, right? So there you go. Interesting, right? I would never have guessed this one, but there's every card in the new set. I'm really excited to continue trying it out, but I wanted to go over every single one of them with you. And now I'm going to get back to playing some more of the decks on stream. Love you guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Bunch of cool decks coming soon. Thank you, chat, for helping out while this was going on. Goodbye. We did it.